Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome ASEA CEO Chuck Funky.
Hello to all of the amazing ASEA associates joining this North America Envision broadcast. It is truly good to be with you, even though it is not in a way that any of us would have hoped for. A year ago to the day, we were scheduled to be in Dallas, Texas together for this very conference. And when we made at the time what was a very difficult decision to cancel that event, it would have been difficult to imagine that 1 year later we would still not be able to gather together. I think I speak for all of us by saying that we miss each other. Technology can certainly fill a lot of gaps, but there is no replacing the energy, enthusiasm, inspiration, and optimism that comes from being together in person at an ASEA event. We look forward to the day when that is once again possible. We are certainly cognizant of and sensitive to the hardships that have been endured by so many over the past 12 months, and we sincerely hope that you and your families are well and that you're taking care of yourselves and each other. About a month ago, I finished reading a book. The book is called Shoe Dog, and it chronicles the founding of Nike. It is written by the founder of Nike, Phil Knight. I would certainly recommend it. It's a great book. It's a story primarily about struggle and the decades-long battle that Nike fought to simply survive, teetering on the verge of bankruptcy year after year. We all know how that story ends, but how Nike became who they are is a much lesser-known story. Towards the end of the book, Phil Knight, now 83 years old, wrote something that left an immediate and lasting impression on me. I'd like to share it with you here today. He said, "For some, I realize business is the all-out pursuit of profits, period, full stop. But for us, business was no more about making money than being human is about making blood. Yes, the human body needs blood. It needs to manufacture red and white cells and platelets and redistribute them evenly, smoothly, to all the right places on time or else. But that day-to-day business of the human body isn't our mission as human beings. It's a basic process that enables our higher aims, and life always strives to transcend the basic processes of living. We wanted, as all great businesses do, to create, to contribute, and we dared to say so aloud. When you make something, when you improve something, when you deliver something, when you add some new thing or service to the lives of strangers, making them happier or healthier or safer or better, and when you do it all crisply and efficiently, smartly, the way everything should be done, but so seldom is, you're participating more fully in the whole grand human drama. More than simply alive, you're helping others to live more fully. And if that's business, all right, call me a businessman." Phil Knight. I think one of the reasons I was so taken by these words is because I saw ASEA reflected in them, and more specifically, the people of ASEA. And that's because I have witnessed firsthand how you have higher aims and are always striving to transcend the basic processes of living. You create and you contribute, and you add to the lives of people, making them happier and healthier and better. You participate fully in the whole grand human drama. More than simply alive, you're helping others to live more fully. Most, if not all, of these characteristics are provided by the products, opportunity, and culture of ASEA. But I'd like to speak about another way that you have helped others to live more fully. The ASEA Advancing Life Foundation was established in 2015 with the mission of breaking cycles of poverty, abuse, and suffering. This image is the cover of the 2020 Advancing Life Impact Report. It was taken in Cambodia by our very own Kirby Bollock during one of the expeditions to that country early last year. It depicts 3 generations, a newborn baby, and the hand of its mother and grandmother. I would like to share with you some highlights of how the foundation, coupled with the mission statement of ASEA, to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world, has had an impact and made a difference. To do this, I would like to use some real-life examples of our own associates and employees. This is not an inclusive list, but it represents a broad cross-section of the generosity and selflessness of the members of the ASEA family. These individuals, and they probably aren't happy with me for calling attention to them, have been extraordinarily generous to the foundation since its inception. Thank you to Sue and Craig, Alan and Tanya, Trish and Bob, Denny and Tom, Bobby and Jerry, and Dan and Suzanne for the amount of good you have done around the world through your generosity. Service expeditions quickly became an important part of the ASEA Advancing Life culture. ASEA associates, employees, and their families have had the opportunity to attend service expeditions in Mexico in 2016, Ecuador in 2017, 2018, and 2019, and Cambodia in 2020, with the attendees arriving back to their homes in early March, just days before international borders were closed and air travel came to a standstill. These three individuals have attended all 5 of the Advancing Life expeditions and are great examples to us all. They are Paul Tyra, Beth Wofford, and Yana Harold. Thank you for your dedicated service. Janine Babauskas, after returning home to Australia last March from Cambodia, began raising money with her family, friends, and fellow associates, and has been responsible for providing 15 wells in Cambodia in a single year. Misty Lindsay, who is the recognition manager at ASEA, asked her son Xander, who is 14, and her daughter Zoe, who is 13, what they wanted for Christmas last year. Their answer was that they, instead of anything for themselves, they wanted to donate a well in Cambodia. Since then, they have already donated another one. These are only a few examples of how individuals are fulfilling the mission of ASEA and the Advancing Life Foundation. There are many, many others. It is worth remembering that any good that the foundation does is only possible because of your donations and generosity. Thank you for both. Remarkably, in the year of a worldwide pandemic, contributions to the foundation in 2020 increased by 20% over 2019. The foundation has partnered with numerous charitable organizations over the years. Those listed here are the top 5 that money has been donated to. Through our association with these and other partners, the Advancing Life Foundation has been able to provide various types of assistance and aid to 16 different countries and has had a direct impact on approximately 800,000 people. One of the long-standing commitments of the foundation has been in partnership with Choice Humanitarian in the construction of an educational and vocational training center in the remote Intacata region of Ecuador. Many of you have participated in expeditions to the center. In January of 2017, Kim Larson and I traveled to Ecuador with representatives from Choice to see the land the foundation was purchasing for Choice and to meet with government leaders. I went back and found a video that I took on that trip, standing on the land that would become the Intacata Center. Take a look. Last month, Kim Tyler and I met with the leadership of Choice Humanitarian in our offices where they provided an update on the progress of the center, and I'm super delighted to share that with you right now. You can see in these images the completion of the various phases, and we are happy to report that despite a number of challenges presented by COVID, the Intacata Center is operational and holding sessions in welding, bakery and culinary classes, and courses on industrial safety and occupational health. The landscape in this area has changed dramatically since that first group of ASEA expeditioners arrived in the summer of 2017. One thing of particular interest is how significant this center has become to the local communities who are leveraging it for cultural and civic activities. In fact, development around the center has started to happen, as you can see here in this image on the left. This development is occurring because of the importance the Intacata Center is playing in the region, as the trust and confidence of the local population has grown as we have seen the center through to completion. As we have continued to partner with Choice in the completion of this project, a number of other positive developments have occurred. Because of the infrastructure that the center provides, the Italian-Ecuadorian Foundation for Sustainable Development, which is an agricultural partnership between the Italian and Ecuadorian governments, is infusing $1.3 million into the region and will be using the Intacata Center for farmer training and as a processing facility for various types of crops. It will also be leveraged by university, government, and business extension services. We will continue to partner with Choice Humanitarian on the Intacata project to complete the final phase of the build-out and to continue to support the center as needed. We hope that everyone can feel a great deal of pride in sponsoring something that is having such a significant impact on individual lives. In 2020, we continued our relationship with Operation Underground Railroad in their efforts to eradicate human trafficking. In addition to paying for several rescue missions, the Advancing Life Foundation funded the construction of an Internet Crimes Against Children Center in Ukraine. This is the second ICAC center to be funded by the foundation, the first one being in Thailand. The Ukraine ICAC is the first of its kind in Europe, and within only a few months of being operational, it has rescued 425 victims of human trafficking and arrested 9 individuals. Also in partnership with OUR, a 4th electronic surveillance dog was trained and is working with law enforcement in North Dakota. His name is Jab. A 5th dog is currently being trained. New in 2020 was a partnership with Techo, an organization in Mexico that installs rainwater harvesting systems and hand washing stations throughout the country. Here's a video highlighting the work that they do.
Hola, yo soy Antonella Guzmán Siliceo, soy voluntaria de la organización de Techo y hoy venimos a la comunidad de Lomas de Tezistán a instalar un sistema comunitario de captación de agua de lluvia. Queremos agradecerle a la empresa SEA por hacer esta donación del sistema de captación de agua de lluvia. Estamos seguros de que la gente de la comunidad de Lomas de Tezistán lo va a aprovechar mucho. Muchas gracias, SEA.
In 2020, we also partnered with Vision Cambodia and had 2 successful expeditions to that country earlier in the year. In October, major flooding occurred in Cambodia, which destroyed the rice crop for the year and left thousands of people without food. More than 131,000 houses were damaged or destroyed. And thanks to our partnership with Vision Cambodia, the Advancing Life Foundation responded to the crisis by providing a month's supply of food to more than 600 families. Several local news outlets actually covered this story, and I'd like to show you a clip of that now.
និង Asia Advancing Life Foundation និង Rotary Club ដែលបានយកចិត្តទុកដាក់ក្នុងការចូលរួមជាមួយរដ្ឋាភិបាលក្នុងពេលដែលប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរយើងបានកំពុងជួបនូវទុក្ខលំបាក
So the gentleman that you see here in the blue shirt is Chantha South, the founder of Vision Cambodia, who coordinated the purchase and distribution of the food. In addition to this particular relief regarding the flood, Advancing Life donors also provided a total of 95 new wells to families in need over the year, bringing the total number of wells donated through ASEA donors and the Advancing Life Foundation to 150. Amazing. Feeding America is the nation's largest domestic hunger relief organization with a network of food banks, pantries, and meal programs that serve communities in the United States. Feeding America estimates that nearly 42 million Americans will experience some form of food insecurity in 2021. Many people who have been impacted by the pandemic were food insecure or at risk of food insecurity before COVID-19 and are facing greater hardships since the pandemic. Due to the difficulties surrounding COVID, many food banks have found it difficult to adequately provide food for those in need. A contribution by the Advancing Life Foundation to Feeding America in 2020 provided an astounding 500,000 meals to people. We have committed to providing the same amount in 2021. The Advancing Life Foundation is organized as a 501c3, making contributions tax deductible. The activities of the foundation are overseen by a board made up of ASEA employees. It is chaired, as many of you know, by Kim Marie Larson, who is the Vice President of Events and Recognition. And board members include Gina Anson, the Chief Marketing Officer, Dorianne Betoff, who is the Director of Global Accounting, Sarah Bailey, Senior Facilities and Office Manager, and Adolfo Avalos, Managing Director of New Market Expansion. We're deeply appreciative for the time and service they dedicate to the foundation, in addition to their other responsibilities. While what I have shared today is certainly not an exhaustive list, of all the foundation's activities. I had hoped to provide enough detail so that we can all see the amount of good being done around the world by your generosity. It is real and it is meaningful. ASEA matches all Donor Alliance contributions to the foundation, so every amount contributed is doubled. Should your circumstances allow, the ways to donate are outlined here. And thank you for your shared partnership as we all try collectively to transcend the basic processes of living by helping others to live more fully. Thank you.